Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will discover St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican Museums and Castel Sant'Angelo. We are in St. Peter's Square, which has an Egyptian obelisk brought to Rome by Caligula in the center. The beautiful fountain located further north of the square was built by Carlo Maderno in 1613. In this place, where St. Peter's Basilica is built, thousands of Christians were martyred, including the Apostle Peter, who was crucified upside down. And it was here that Peter was buried. Emperor Constantine made Christianity an official religion, and in 360 AD, ordered a church to be built here, exactly above where the apostle is buried. In 1502 AD, when the ancient church, already 1,200 years old, threatened to fall into pieces, Pope Julius II ordered the construction of a new temple, also in the same place, the current St. Peter's Basilica. Some of humanity's most important artists worked on the new temple, such as Raphael, Bernini and Michelangelo. Michelangelo's Pieta depicting Mary carrying the body of Jesus. It is the largest and most important religious building in Catholicism, and one of the most visited Christian sites in the world. It has a dome that reaches 136 meters, covers an area of 23,000 square meters, can accommodate more than 60,000 devotees and took more than 100 years to be built. Bernini created the spectacular baldachin, a structure added over the main altar. The bronze used in its construction was taken from the Pantheon in Rome. The highest dome in the world. St. Peter's Basilica is classified by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. I highly recommend visiting the Basilica, the universal seat of the Catholic Church. Inside, people are overwhelmed by the magnitude of the construction and the beauty of the many works of art. The remodeling of St. Peter's Square was carried out following a project by Bernini, with the aim of creating a place where crowds could see the Pope. And now, on special occasions, up to 400,000 people gather in the square. Let's now discover the Vatican Museums. And here we are at the entrance to the Vatican Museums, which is very close to St. Peter's Square and Basilica. These museums are among the oldest in the world and are a must-visit on a trip to Rome. A model of the Vatican City. The beautiful spiral staircase. From here you can see the dome of the Basilica. The Vatican Museums are a group of museums located within the walls of Vatican City. We start by discovering the Egyptian Gregorian Museum. Osiris Antinous, 138 AD. The Nile, 2nd century AD. Lioness goddess Sekhmet Granadite. The Queen Tuya, 1224 BC. Internal connection to another Vatican museum. The octagonal courtyard of the Pio Clementino Museum with important statuary. Perseus with the head of Medusa is a statue sculpted by the Italian Antonio Canova. Belvedere Hermes statue showing the god Hermes in his role as Psychopomps, who guides the souls of the dead to the underworld. The Hall of Animals, where animals are the protagonists, and can be seen both in their curious interactions with each other, as well as in their relationships with the heroes and gods of the ancient world. The Round Hall, a large hall with a hemispherical vault imitating that of the Pantheon. The Hall of the Greek Cross, with a mosaic floor with a bust of Athena and the imposing entrance, flanked by two Egyptian-style pillar statues, in pink granite, dating from the beginning of the 1st century AD. Let's now see another Vatican museum, the Etruscan Gregorian Museum. Mars of Todi, a rare example of a bronze statue depicting a cuirassed warrior, from the late 5th century BC. Room with stone monuments worked by Etruscan sculptors from the 6th to 1st century BC. I consider that visiting the Vatican Museums is a unique experience that should be done at least once in your life. This visit is a long and interesting journey that fills us with emotions through more than 20 centuries of history and art. The Tapestry Gallery houses a beautiful collection of 16th and 17th century tapestries. The Maps Gallery with a series of 40 monumental maps painted in fresco on the walls. A barrel-vaulted ceiling richly decorated in Renaissance style. These maps were created based on drawings by Ignazio Danti, representing the possessions of the church during the pontificate of Gregory XIII. We entered Raphael's rooms, starting in the fire room in the Borgo, from 1517. We continue to the Constantine Hall, decorated by the Raphael school based on drawings by the artist, who died prematurely in 1520, before the work was completed in 1585. We are in the Heliodorus room, originally used for the Pope's private audiences. The 4 episodes from the Old Testament painted on the ceiling are the work of Raphael. We arrived at the Segnatura room, which contains Raphael's most famous frescoes. In addition to being the first work executed by the great artist in the Vatican, they mark the beginning of the High Renaissance. Unfortunately, it is not permitted to film in the Sistine Chapel. We entered another Vatican museum, the Profane Museum, which was opened in 1767. To display sumptuary arts, cameos, ivories, rock crystals, small bronzes, and material discovered in excavations from the 18th and 19th centuries. The visit to the Vatican Museums has come to an end. We continue our visit and will now discover Castel Sant'Angelo. Here is Castel Sant'Angelo. Built between 123 and 139 as Hadrian's mausoleum, it changed its function around 270. When Emperor Aurelius decided to transform it into a military fortress. In 590, the time of Pope Gregory, it became the Castel Sant'Angelo. Legend says that Gregory I had a vision of the Archangel Michael at the top of the castle, announcing the end of a plague that was ravaging Rome at the time. To celebrate this apparition, a statue of an angel crowns the building. Don't forget, on the first Sunday of every month all tourist attractions in Rome are free. The castle is divided into 5 floors, accessed through a spiral ramp. We are strolling on the ground floor. The entrance to the spiral ramp to access the remaining floors. Tunnels, ramps and stairs make access to floor 1 more fun. We have arrived to floor 1 and we will see the rooms that served as the papal residence, and were decorated with perfectly preserved Renaissance frescoes. on the way to the second floor, which has incredible views of much of Rome and the Vatican. A cafe excellently located to enjoy the beautiful views. The statue of Archangel Michael at the top of the castle. The Angels Terrace, floor 4, with more incredible views.
Ma che buio stasera.
In the background, the dome of St. Peter's Basilica stands out.
E già da un po' sono in strada con il capo all'insù a guardare verso il cielo e non mi riesce di trovare la luna.
Another perspective of the Archangel Michael statue.
Mi viene una gran voglia di chiamarla. Luna! Magari si affaccia. Sarebbe bello, no? Tu la chiami?
The Sant'Angelo Bridge, a pedestrian bridge that crosses the Tiber to the castle.
La bianca stasera non c'è.
On the bastion floor we walked around the square walls, visiting the 4 bastions of the evangelists.
C'è invece un suono che viene da lontano, una melodia, una bella melodia.
I hope you enjoyed this beautiful tour.
La melodia di una fisarmonica.
If you liked the video, put a like and subscribe. It's very important to help the channel grow.
Ad un tratto, come lampare nel mare, si accendono ad una le finestre di una casa, poi di un'altra e di un'altra ancora, fino ad illuminare tutta la strada.
Thank you for watching.
Tutti a cercare la melodia nella notte. Anche un bimbo dal suo balcone guarda in su, fino a quando sua madre lo richiama in casa. E così le finestre tornano ad una a dormire.